Gegner ist die unangefochtene Nummer 1 der Welt. Er ist der Titelverteidiger bei den European Darts Open. Amtierender World Grand Prix und Premier League Champion. Und dreifacher und amtierender Weltmeister. Aus den Niederlanden, Mighty Michael van Gerwen!
Gerwen takes to the stage for the first time on the 2019 European Tour, and an interesting second round matchup for MVG, who might well be sick of the sights of his opponent Mervyn King, who knocked him out of the UK Open not long after there had been a few words exchanged between the pair following a controversial semi-final on a Pro Tour weekend. Just before that, it is the King against the current King of Darts, and alongside me, Chris Murphy in commentary, is Paul Nicholson. Who will wear the crown today, Paul?
Well, it's not going to be me, it's definitely going to be one of these guys. And I was talking to Mervyn a few hours ago, because he was here,
many hours ago.
Early afternoon. Doesn't like to dawdle in the hotel or go sightseeing. He likes to be part of things.
Yes,
all the way through the day.
Rigorous pre-match preparation, I'm sure.
I guess. And he did say to me, I just can't get rid of this guy right now. And I said to him that the positive mindset is, he can't get rid of you either.
Yeah, well, Mervyn did get rid of him, didn't he, in Minehead at the UK Open.
First leg, Michael to throw first.
Rewarded for beating the world number 1 with a match against the world number 2. Going out to Rob Cross in the following round.
97.
Now Michael van Gerwen, it might be said, could be there for the taking at the moment, because he's on a run where he's only won 2 of his last 7 matches, and I've been trying to
45.
Go back as many pages as possible in the statistics to see when was the last time he had a similar run, and I can't find one in 60. The time that he has been the King of Darts, the world number 1.
Well, now that you've said that, there's going to be a bit of
social media activity.
Yeah, I was going to say it a different way, but I decided not to. All of the darting nerds out there are going to be flicking those keyboards and looking through their own spreadsheets.
Yes, let's keep it polite, but it wasn't polite, was it, a few weeks ago when Van Gerwen beat King on the Pro Tour, and the accusation was that Mervyn King had stopped trying in the match. Mervyn disputed that and gave his own reasons for a below-par performance in that semi-final, and then let the darts do the talking at the UK Open.
That's a funny old turn of phrase, isn't it, this year, not trying? It's been uttered a few times. It's been topical, let's put it that way.
Well, I know that Michael van Gerwen will be trying to take out 170, whatever Mervyn King leaves here.
60.
And another thing that's been involved this year is that his constant leaving of 170 was called controversial.
Yes. No.
Or disrespectful, sorry.
134.
Well, that was poppycock. But what he's done there is leave 36 after 15, which is a solid start. But it's a start that he'll want to build on, because Van Gerwen lives in a house of 15 darts and below. He doesn't like to go above that 15 dart mark, because usually it's not good enough. And I think we've seen from that facial expression from the King of Darts that he wants to come back to the European Tour, likes it here. And obviously, it's a bit of a comfort blanket to him, because, let's face it, he's won more European Tour titles than most of the others combined.
But if you're looking for an omen for Michael van Gerwen, sandwiched between defeats, the one mentioned in Minehead this year and the Masters in 2014 at the hands of King, have been 7 wins for Michael van Gerwen, 4 of them on the European Tour, and in each of those 4 tournaments he's gone on to win the title.
81.
Beat the king to be the king.
That could only be more complicated if Corey Cadley was coming back. Oh, hang on a minute. He's coming back on Monday.
Yeah, will we see him on the Euro Tour at any point?
I'm sure we will. And that will just ramp things up even more. We aren't going to get that dream match of Durrant and Van Gerwen tomorrow, because Durrant is gone, courtesy of a wonderful crescendo-type performance from Jermaine Wattimena.
Well, if it is to be MVG, it will be the Dutch number 1 against the Dutch number 2, such is the rise of the machine gun. And the fall of others around him.
And that is confirmed right now. So
24 in the world ranking.
at this point in time, the Dutch team for the World Cup is Wattimena and Van Gerwen.
Ball. Couldn't find the second. It's not in, Michael. Calm yourself.
Yeah, he can't see that bullseye because his flight is obscuring it.
92.
Well, we'll see in Barney's retirement season.
You insinuating what I think you're insinuating? Come back to that in a minute. Tops for Van Gerwen. His doubles have been a little rusty over the last few weeks. He has been giving more chances to opponents, and he's fortunate on this occasion that King has not been scoring to his brilliant best.
Well, there's been a couple of times in the first couple of legs that he's used more than 5 visits, but he still managed to take the first 2 in the match. The English team, as it stands, would be Rob Cross and Michael Smith.
I think we said the same this time last year, and then there was a playoff, wasn't there, at some point?
Yeah, between
Chisholm and Smith.
James
Yeah,
Wade's in between them right now.
I think that's going to change a couple of times at least between now and Hamburg in June.
I think Cross is pretty safe. He's up next against Steve Beaton.
There's a bit more mojo about Van Gerwen tonight than there was in Berlin the other night. He missed too many chances against Gurney, and Darrell took advantage. Darrell, of course, is in the next round after a solid performance this afternoon against Jeffrey de Zwaan. But Van Gerwen on 187 always switches to the 19s, because he gets a 171 there, he leaves double 8. Has got some weird and wonderful things that he can do on a dartboard, some calculations. And we've already seen 2 9 darts from this year, 2 different ways.
100, Michael Gerwen, 88.
Well, looking for a rather better leg by some distance. Double 14 for a dozen darter.
Well, Van Gerwen has played over the last couple of legs like he's got a dinner reservation for 9 o'clock.
Well, he has got his good wife Daphne here with him this weekend, so maybe they can light the candle. Well, Mervyn King has sparked into life of his first maximum of the tournament, not just the match.
You don't want to go down that route, Murph, of saying light the candle at sport. We don't want to be getting those little hollers like they do off the tee on the USPGA Tour, when Tiger Woods hit a 3-wood and somebody said, light the candle. Imagine if people started doing that at the darts. It's crazy enough here in Germany.
Get in the ball.
I like that one. That one's going to catch on.
We'll just wait. It'll catch on the next time someone leaves it, because I'm going to scream it.
Come on, people. Get that on social media.
Mervyn King leaves 1-2-1.
Next time, that could be your little catchphrase. Back to the game.
Well, the King, I wouldn't imagine would go for the bull at the end of the combination. At least he does get in the bull, and he gets in treble 13, and he gets in the double 16 to get himself in the match.
And yesterday he went for that combo on 1-2-1, and he got a bounce out going for the bullseye, and I disputed that being the right way to go on a 1-2-1. Well, he may have just silenced me completely, because that was magic.
Mervyn King's not a man who strikes me as being stubborn when it comes to finishing.
60.
Who have you been watching the last 20 years?
My tongue was firmly in my cheek, Paul.
Yeah, just watch. In this leg, he's going to leave 80 with 3 darts in his hand. He's going to shock us and go for 2 tops.
Mervyn King, a little story here, tales from behind the tour. Mervyn King was once wandering past when I was having a little chuck with Dan Dawson. I had 80 left at the time. I turned around and said, what shall I go for, Merv? And you know what he replied? Well, it's got to be tops.
That's got to be a 180, and is. So he was telling you the way that he doesn't go.
Yes.
Maybe that's because he really does love double 16 that much, but he'll do anything to leave it. And he did it in the last leg.
Van Gerwen took out 88 for a 12-darter. Get in the bull.
63.
He can't. But he's
Bit
going
more
to have
oomph, Murph. Bit more oomph.
plenty more. Well, it's not my fault he missed, Paul. Come on.
Too true. Murph cannot leave a finish.
Should he have gone for the bull on 88 with Mervyn stranded back in the 200s?
You've just seen from Van Gerwen there, he's usually a 988 guy, but I think sometimes he has been accused by pundits and other people who watch darts a lot that he can get a little bit bored sometimes, and there are telltale signs of that when he goes different ways, like the 9-darters earlier this year. It's not to say that, you know, when he was winning those tournaments and 9-darters he was getting bored. I think just doing things a little bit differently keeps him sharp. A bit like Peter Wright has always said, constantly changing equipment keeps him focused. And let's face it, if you go 1-12 or 9-8, who cares if you hit it?
Well, perhaps there became a point where he felt so unchallenged by a lot of his opponents that he had to create challenges for himself.
Well, he has got a couple of Pro Tour wins this year, Van Gerwen, amongst those 2 9-darters, and after one of those wins the following day he got thumped by Nathan Aspinall, and that turned out not to be a fluky result, because then Nathan went on to win the UK Open.
That was the start of this spell that I mentioned. 2 wins in 7. There was a draw in there against John Henderson in the Premier League. Defeated Darrell Gurney on Thursday in Berlin. Of course, Mervyn's win in Minehead in that run as well.
45.
And also beaten quite convincingly by James Wade. Interesting Premier League this season, isn't it?
99.
Who's going to top the pile? Will it still be him?
I reckon Rob Cross might get there. Just based on current form, you think Rob is not looking back.
Well, he'd be only the 3rd man in history to do it if he did.
140.
It's always been done by the world number 1, whether that's been Van Gerwen or Taylor. Now, which route here?
I'm surprised he didn't stay on the 60 there. He'll probably wish he had now. We know Mervyn's going to go for 18s here. Single 20 to leave double 16. That 20's right in the middle.
54.
Push that one slightly, and I think he's going to be punished.
Double 6. To win leg 6. And a smirk from MVG. He wouldn't have been happy to have taken 3 darts about hitting it, but he also knows that it would have hurt Mervyn King rather more.
I said it this afternoon as well, Murph, that all right-handers love double 6. Because it's just straight down the line, straight down the eye line. And Van Gerwen will have been completely baffled by the first 2 darts because they weren't great. And that's probably why he smirked, because the 5th one was perfect. I would say if you give Van Gerwen 100 darts at double 6, he'd want to hit 85 of them.
93.
It's looking like the trilogy of matches between King and Van Gerwen is going to turn into a 2-1 lead
130.
for MVG so far this year. Get the feeling that they might meet each other a few more times.
Well, who would have thought that would have been the rivalry for MVG in 2019 before the season started? Of course it was the match that started the surge of MVG. 2012 World Grand Prix final.
Yeah, it's easily forgotten, isn't it, that It was King who suffered the defeat for Van Gerwen's first PDC major.
Yeah, and from a winning position as well. Let the lead slip. Not likely that MVG will do the same here. Well, he went for the treble 14. Now, if he fancied finishing it there and then, why not just go for the big 14 and hit the bullseye to win it in style? Because if you want a treble, what's the point in going that way?
I don't know, but what we do know is that he's back for double 12. It looks like Mervyn is going to be gone.
And Mervyn is gone from the European Darts Open. The King overthrown and outthrown by Michael van Gerwen, who wins the latest of their mini-series of matches in 2019 and books his place in the final day of action here in Leverkusen. He will take on the current Dutch number 2, Jermaine Watermena, who beat Glenn Durrant a couple of games ago. We've still got Rob Cross, Mensa Suljovic, Simon Whitlock and Peter Wright to come tonight. But Michael van Gerwen eases through the second round, defeating Mervyn King by 6 legs to 1.
Michael, congratulations. Well done. Great start into the tournament. For most of the game, you had an average of well over 100. At the end, just below the 100. Satisfied?
Not satisfied, but I did a job. To be fair, I think Mervyn underperformed today. He didn't play his game. But you still need to have to drop yourself and really get out of it. And I think the crowd was amazing. I come to Germany quite often now these days. We have a lot of tournaments over here, and I like it more and more.
Ja, ich habe ihn gefragt, ob er zufrieden ist mit seiner Leistung. Er sagt, zufrieden ist er nicht, aber am Ende hat man einen Job zu machen. Das hat er heute gemacht, er ist weitergekommen. Ist der Meinung, Mervyn hat unterperformt, hat nicht sein Spiel gezeigt. Und er sagt, er kommt natürlich sehr, sehr häufig jetzt auf der European Tour nach Deutschland, bedankt sich für den Support, den er heute bekommen hat von Leverkusen. I spoke to Mervyn yesterday after his match and I asked him, what do you have to do to beat Michael? And he said, I just have to play like I did at the UK Open. Is that something that spurs you on, that makes you focus more when you've recently lost to someone?
Yeah, but you lose to some people all the time, once in a while, and that happened exactly also to Merv. And I played so many games against him, and I played so good normal against him. So you need to get the confidence going and make sure you win the game, and just enjoy yourself. And we're going to have a long day ahead tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the crowd does too, enjoy it and everything.
Mervyn King hat ja gestern nach seiner Partie gesagt, wenn ich Michael schlagen will, muss ich einfach spielen wie bei den UK Open. Habe ihn gefragt, ob Michael das noch mehr motiviert, noch fokussierter macht, wenn er kürzlich gegen jemanden verloren hat. Er sagt, am Ende muss man einfach immer fokussiert sein, muss sein Spiel spielen, muss vor allem auch Spaß haben auf der Bühne. Und er sagte, auch dank euch hat er das heute hier gehabt. Wir sagen herzlichen Glückwunsch und danke, Mighty Michael van Gerwen.